Hi everybody and welcome to Indigo Sky Holistic. I'm Davina, an intuitive holistic therapist and an energy healer based here at Soul Wellness Hub in Sowerby Bridge in West Yorkshire. And I'm just sharing a little bit today about the thoughts and feelings that have been discussed in the circles and the spheres and the places that I am in at the moment in relation to the crazy energetics that we have got going on for us at the moment. Now, I am not an astrologer, I am not an expert in astrology. I have a basic foundational learning in it. It's actually really, really big, deep science that's been hidden and dismissed for way too long, but there's more and more people beginning to explore it. And you know what? It's said that the people who rule the world actually use their astrology for how they bring things in and basically run the world. So with that in mind, it's just us, the little people, those who are not or have had their power withheld from them for so long, who have been told that we shouldn't believe or that it's nonsense and dismissed. And the more I've looked into it and the more that I've explored it, the more it's answered a lot of questions for me. I am well versed in the overarching and fundamentals of human design, which has a connection to astrology. But even with all I know about human design, I know the workings of the energy through the human design chart, but I have not gone into that even in relation to the planets at the deepest level. I know the basics about what the planets do, but still, because it's so deep, when I go and look at it, I have to go and look at each planet for each client that I have and what that means. Eventually it will all be in there too, because I store a lot of stuff in here. But yeah, because obviously everybody has different planets in different areas of their human design chart, just like people have different planets in different parts of their astrology chart. It's a big learning experience. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm an astrologer, that I know that much about it. I know some very good astrologers if you want to be put in touch with one. But I do want to speak to the extent that people at the moment seem to be going through this shit. They seem to be going through struggles or challenges, or even if it's not that bad, there's upheaval and somebody else in their circles, their family, where they work is going through it, and by the effect of being around people who are going through stressful circumstances, it impacts us. Some of us, it really deeply impacts in that we take other people's energy and emotions into ourselves. So it's intense. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how we navigate these things, how I've learned to navigate these times with a sense of inner calm, so that when things get a little crazy in the external, so even if it take the energetics out of it, when things in the world at large get crazy, when there's crazy stuff on the news, when there's crazy stuff in our communities, in our areas, when there's lots of fear and worry and anxiety going around the people around us, just how I have learned to take my attention away from it. And that's not to ignore it. I don't think there's anything gained by sticking our heads in the sand and pretending it's not real and it's not happening, because that can just amplify the situation too. This is about being aware, but then continually coming back to where we are. For somebody who has lived 40 something years of my life never thinking I was safe, never knowing or believing or feeling safe, and not realising it until I was at least 45, speak with this idea that many people have got similar situations where they're in survival mode just so constantly they don't even know they're in survival. I didn't know I was in survival mode until I started doing the healing, and I was like, shit, I've just been surviving for 40 years of my life. We get to learn to come back to ourselves, come back to the moment, feel our bodies on the ground. I'm a big fan of grounding. Could be the Taurian energy in me, but I'm a really big fan of feeling the ground beneath us, really anchoring in to the ground that we're on, and really feeling the power of the strength of that. It's keeping us where we are and keeping us safe. So at the very root of things, we're safe unless, we're not talking extreme circumstances of people in war zones here or people in a chaotic physical environment. We are talking about vast majority of people who are in like houses and rooms and spaces and work and whatever, just struggling with day-to-day life. First world problems, call them, don't they? So for those of us, got ground below us, we've got something to just really feel the magnetic pull of the planet to the magnetism of ourselves, really anchoring us and pulling us down so that we can know we're secure where we are. And sometimes when we're in fight or flight, when we're in survival mode, when we're in fight, flight or freeze mode, we can actually be floating around outside of our bodies somewhat, although we may feel like we're in it, but we're actually trying to escape because it's scary being in our bodies and we don't know it, we don't realise it. So really feeling into that like ground below us and feeling what that's like. And then also coming to the breath. Anyone who's followed me for a while previously, anyone who's joined me on any of my self-care processes will know I'm a huge believer in taking a breath. I say this over and over again, so many of my videos. There's always time to take a breath. Even in an emergency situation, I know from having worked in trauma wards and medical assessment units, there's always time for a breath. A doctor or a nurse in a critical emergency situation has got to breathe, or they are screwed because they're not of any service to the people who are in their care if they aren't able to take a breath. And that's how in chaos you actually come to your centre and handle a situation. And when we get stuck in the idea that there's not time and there's not space and there's not space to breathe and not time to breathe, that's because something in the world around us has made us feel that way. And my whole experience for the last few months has been external forces try and make you think there's no space and no time to breathe. But you know what? There always is. Even if you think in the first world problem, you have people hounding you, you have people pushing you, you have people making demands of your time, your energy, your money, your frequency, your vibration, your thoughts, your ideas. People making demands of you on that. Make them wait. For real, make them wait. And we're not talking about, offspring who maybe want you fed. We're not talking about leaving babies to cry. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about people in positions of authority who think they're in positions of authority. people who are pushing us for answers before we're ready to give them. Just, it's all there to make us think we're short of time, we're short of energy, we're short of knowledge or wisdom, because we don't know the answer instantly. Not everybody knows the answer to what's being asked of them instantly, and it's okay to wait. And this is the foundation of the rest, surrender, trust process. Is about learning to do this. It's about learning to wait and come to yourself and rest. Not like, oh, I need to go and have a nap, although big up the naps. Not, oh, I need to have an early night, or I need to have a lie in. None of that. It's actually about bringing rest into your nervous system at any moment, so that you can come into your body, you can really feel through all of your senses the environment around you, calm your nervous system, rest your nervous system. And that's the foundation of it, and that's what I'm taking people through for 6 months, really diving into and exploring what that means, and how that then brings us into being able to surrender to the chaos, to the unchangeable, to the uncontrollable, the things that are out of our control, how we get to process that and make our way through that, and trust that things are going to unfold in the exact right way. I can't express that enough from my own lived experience. The exact right way is going to unfold. And when we resist it and we don't surrender to it, we actually make it harder for it to come. We make it harder for it to move through ready for us. And it's easier said than done. And I don't have all the answers, but I do have a hand to lead you through how it's possible to stay in a calm and centered place amid the crazy chaos. My thoughts for today, let me know what you think. Do share any comments, any thoughts, any feelings anytime that you come across this. And if you've not been able to jump on the rest, surrender, trust process while it's running live from April to whenever 6 months is down the line, October, then it will be available as a evergreen self-motivated practice on my website from then, in the same place it is now. So come and join me live if you are watching this anytime when I'm running it live, and I'll see you soon.